Welcome back to Apex Alchemy. Today we're going to use an angle grinder and a 2x72 grinder to finish shaping out the basic shape of the knife. It's not going to be like a finishing type thing. We're just going to get this knife into this metal into a knife shaped object. I'm using a Dewalt angle grinder that I got from Lowe's, and we're using a Lenox disc that's supposed to last 30 times longer than an average cutoff disc. It may last longer. It's given signs of hope, but it is also very much slower. So we've got the video sped up. Try to waste as little of time as possible. But I don't like the angle grinder. I don't, constantly trying to keep sparks off of me. I've caught myself on fire with them. I'm not a beacon of safety. Do the best you can with the tools that you have to work with to get the knife shaped in the shape that you want. To me, it makes a lot of sense if you've already got a design and you're buying steel from a supplier to go ahead and get that stuff water jetted. It's safer. It'll save you time, but most importantly, it will save you some money as well.
Yeah, these cutoff discs aren't cheap.
No, they're not. And this is an edited video. Things were cut out along the way, and it's just taken forever. I think I spent about 20 minutes with the angle grinder, just trying to get, and then I gave up, and we moved to a 2x72. You'll see that here in just a little bit, but angle grinder's got to be my least favorite tool to work with when it comes to making knives. Another thing is, sorry, I kind of started this series and then work started getting crazy, so this knife making process is going a little slower than I expected. We are making it out of 5160, and it's a 1/4 inch blade stock. This is not one that I'll have for sale, but we are making an amygdala. It's going to be a little thicker than the other one, and it's going to be a different steel. The original was an 80 CRV2. This one's going to be 5160. I'm doing that on purpose just to test a couple of different factors.
Compare the steels, see which one.
Yeah, man, why not? Why not? But yeah, I may give this one away to somebody. I don't know. I got a few people wanting an amygdala, or we may give it away on the channel. It's been a long time since we've done a giveaway on the channel. We get done with it, we may just give this one away.
You can see it's taken very little off so far.
Yeah, it's little chunks, man. I'm not good with an angle grinder. I let that be known. Is this isn't a tool that I excel at. It's not a tool that I want to excel at. I'm trying to keep myself from catching on fire and get some metal cut off all at the same time, and it's just not a process that I enjoy at all. I like being able to control my spark flow. The sparks coming off of this angle grinder are way hotter. You'll see my dumb ass in here a little bit grab that steel. That steel's going to be hot after you angle grind on it. Even the other side of the steel, the other end of it will be hot as well. Don't grab it without gloves like I did. I'm just now starting to get the feeling back in my fingertips.
Not exactly the best for PPE.
No, I mean, I got steel toe boots here, but yeah, I'm wearing a face mask as well, which you can't see, and safety glasses up underneath that. I don't think this blade will explode, but some blades do. Some cutoff discs are bad about exploding. But if I was using a regular cutoff disc, it would have took half the time, if not less, to get through that steel. But
they wear out really fast.
They do,
changing disc.
Yeah, a water jetting fee can be anywhere from $5 to $8. It may be more than that, depending on what all kind of intricacies and stuff you want done while water jetting. But the average water jetting cost is $5 to $8, and the average piece of metal shaped into a knife with an angle grinder and a 2x72 is about $11.
Yeah.
So it just it's good to know how to do this stuff.
Because you don't have somebody to water jet it for.
Yeah. What about for your guy that you're used to getting your steel from, that water jets your stuff? What about if he's all out? His machine is broke down or something and he can't get it to you. That's the basic shape of the knife. Not the basic shape of the knife, but that's as close as I got with the angle grinder. So we're moving to 2x72 right now. The machine ain't running. I'm just making sure the belt is on track so that when I turn it on, it doesn't go off track, and ruin the belt. This belt was previously used on some wood. When I fired it up, you may have saw that. I'm using a headlamp. I'll let you know that my lighting in my shop is pretty horrendous, but we're going to use this 2x72 to finish shaping it up. At some point, you'd rather,
just get some
waste
progress.
a belt. Yeah, just waste a belt. It's a 36 grit Norton Bluefire, and it's a ceramic belt, and it throws off some really hot sparks. Using one of those little pieces of metal I was supposed to turn into a pry bar as a pusher. That way if anything slips, hopefully it kind of helps you keep it flat. And you got something you can leverage on. Every once in a while, there is a red Harbor Freight 5-gallon bucket where most of those sparks are falling, and it's filled with water. Every once in a while, you'll see me take the knife and I'll dip it in the water. That's just to cool the knife down. I'm not really concerned about grain structure at this point because we're not at the heat treat process. So any grinding we do on the steel before heat treat, I'm not as concerned as much about. We'll normalize it, or we'll attempt to normalize it. And then we're going to be forge heat treating, which is not the best way to heat treat. And best way to heat treat is in a kiln. I do own one. My maximum temperature that I get up to is about 1350 to 1400 degrees.
And that's not high enough for most steels.
No, it's not high enough for most steels. So we'll use a forge, and that's not, like I said, like the knives that we're going to be making to sell will be professionally heat treat until I get an oven that's adequate. I need a even heat or something similar to that. But a forge, have you ever watched Forge and Fire? That's pretty much how they heat treat them and stuff. But that won't be on this video. It'll be a later video. Today, we're just trying to get there. We're trying to get this thing into a knife-shaped object. And this grinder took a while too. I was considering when I started the grinding process, and I was like, I might as well go back out there to the angle grinder. Then I thought about how much I like my pants and decided to stay.
Yeah, the sparks that come from the grinder are a lot more controllable than the sparks flying off the angle grinder.
Yeah, I was getting them in my hair. This 36 grit belts are wild. They do shoot up sparks that are bigger, and I was smelling burning hair, and I know that was coming from the top of my head. And I do have a fire resistant welding cap, but it's probably full of spiders, and I don't want to fight them for it. So I got scars on top of my head instead.
Yeah, instead of squishing the little spiders.
It might be brown recluse.
They're dead if you squish them.
They might bite me before I kill them. So here we're approaching the end of the process, but right now we're working on the handle portion of the blade. I'll show you the blade at the very end. Since it's sped up, it might not show
for very long.
And sorry about that. But what we're not doing right now is we're not gonna switch over to a small wheels kit and focus on the choils. If you don't have these tools at your disposal, don't sweat that, man. All this stuff can be done with files. It just takes a longer time. So use the tools that you have at your disposal to remove the metal. That's what we're doing. We don't have the best tools in the world. I'm grateful for the tools that I do have, but I like to have multiple grinders in my shop at some point. Like a grinder for horizontal, a grinder for vertical, grinder for small wheel kit.
Surface grinder.
We're gonna have a surface grinder. We got one waiting on us whenever we figure out a way to unload it. Things like 700 pounds.
Got about a minute left of the video at this point.
Yeah.
He did put some gloves on. He's tired of burning his fingers.
Yeah, that sucks. But you'll be able to see how it's beginning to take its shape. And whenever I get back, on our next video, we'll pick up with the small wheel attachment, and I'll show you the changeover that takes place. We'll have to reconfigure the table. Maybe it may be okay the way it is, but there's the basic shape of the knife is coming up. All right, lighting sucks. I really need to upgrade the lighting in the shop. It's horrible. The flashlight you're seeing is that headlamp that was sent to us for free, and I'm not going to promote it. Parasites constantly. So that's the basic shape. We'll cut into that finger choil and finish up the contouring of that handle on the next video.